with Alvin Reed, Bradford Bruns, and Marty Jenkins on 101 ESPN.
The artist formerly known as LB3, uniform-wise, goes down and speculation swirls about the latest iteration of the college football playoff. It's all in a day's work on the latest version of the CFC. Bradford Bruns with you. Happy Mother's Day weekend live from our studio. We're coming to you from Creve Coeur, only on the 101 ESPN YouTube channel, as well as 101ESPN.com as per usual. Hope everybody is out there soaking up the ridiculously good weather for once for this stretch in the Gateway City, and we are going to get you up to speed on everything you may have missed over the course of the last couple of weeks. It has been a bang-up stretch, no doubt about it, on the local scene. Regrettably, the hockey campaign for the Note finally coming to a conclusion. That regrettable finale against the Winnipeg Jets. We're going to move beyond that because we have to get into the college pigskin. It has, again, as stated, been a pretty remarkable run as of late when you're talking about the exploits stemming from the NFL draft in Green Bay. Missouri Tigers all over the place, both being drafted and signing as undrafted free agents. So we're going to touch upon all of that and also some news around the gridiron in general. Speaking of which, a big subject into which we delved to a great extent, honestly, on yesterday's edition of BK and Ferrario. You can hear it each and every weekday between the hours of 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. on 101 ESPN. BK, Tanner, and yours truly, we were able to dissect what could be a brand new permutation as far as the next version, the next installment, because you knew it would be coming, of the college football playoff. Just a few months ago, we saw the conclusion of the initial version of the expanded 12-team version, right? OSU really coming out on top, stopping Notre Dame in the championship game, but it was a rock'em sock'em affair or set of affairs leading up to that juncture. Well, because too much is never enough in the world of college football and, let's be honest, athletics period, now there is a lot of speculation swirling around as to whether we're going to move in the next few months, specifically going into 2026, mind you, from a 12-team field all the way to 16 overall. So the latest reports coming courtesy of ESPN's Pete Thamel and also Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports. And this particular arrangement would allot for 8 of the would-be 16 qualifiers for the CFP. So adding 4 teams, 8 of the 16 slots initially would be reserved from those power conferences, for those power conferences, the SEC Titans as well as the Big Ten. The powers that be, the group of 4, the Power 4 met. They assembled in New York on Thursday, discussing this among many other subjects, to be sure. So it's an interesting configuration at present. And if, like me, you're an SEC honk or you're just a fan of those proverbial blue bloods, it's enticing to think about at least 8 being reserved of the 16 overall. And then there are other quirks as well. There are many other wrinkles to this equation. So, to wit, you would then have 2 automatic qualifiers apiece from the ACC and the Big 12, not being left out of the equation, mind you. 3 more berths awarded to at-large teams, and then the best Power 5 or group of 5 school would round out that field of 16. Now, perhaps most interesting of all, when you factor in all of the different variables here, is a would-be play-in or playoff system before the fact, before the real action begins later in December and in early January, in which you would essentially have a play-in format for 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 in both the SEC and the Big Ten. Now, so many different details. Yes, they have to be ironed out. But by the same token, you can definitely whet your appetite right now, months in advance of kickoff for 2025, and start to think about what could be in store months down the road thereafter for 2026. Bradford Bruns with you here on the College Football Connection Mother's Day Holiday Weekend Edition, coming to you from our Creve Coeur studio right here, right now. And as promised, the last couple of weeks, they have been so frenetic that we didn't properly get to encapsulate and review what happened with so many of the Tigers prospects who had their aspirations of being either drafted at Lambeau Field or being inked to deals thereafter. This is what we know. This is what we reviewed for you. And it's a really timely subject, especially this weekend, because you have these rookie minicamps unfolding across the NFL. And as we had stated at the very top of the program, already a little bit of trouble in the Windy City insofar as Luther Burden III, the former star wideout, obviously for the University of Missouri, he went down today, just earlier today, with an injury pertaining to the midsection. No real reports right now as to the extent of the damage there, but he did elicit some laughs just the other day in his media session because LB3, he's going to be definitely going by that moniker in the second city as well. But the uniform number has to change out of necessity, shifting from number 3 to number 87 because, as he so eloquently stated, all the good numbers were gone. To be specific, Bronco Nagurski happens to claim that number 3. So many different Bears greats. We'll see what Luther is able to end up doing in year number 1 under Ben Johnson in Chi-Town. And spanning, going from the Midwest, obviously up the East Coast as well. You know by now that Armand Mimbu, number 70 for the New York Jets, he is in place, getting his first series of workouts in there as well in the Big Apple. Brady Cook now number 4, one of just 2 rookie QBs present at this weekend session for Aaron Glenn and the Jets, along with Adrian Martinez, formerly of the Kansas State Wildcats. And you head down to the South as well, still in the AFC, albeit elsewhere in the AFC East, because Theo Weiss, as well as Nate Noel, that tandem wide receiver and running back offensive partnership for the Tigers from just a season ago, working out for the Dolphins. And then the AFC just littered with former Tigers products, because a couple of weeks ago it was made known that on the heels of the NFL draft, Johnny Walker Jr. as well as Christian Williams, 2 of those pillars on the defensive line for years on end for Eli Drinkwitz and the Tigers program, signed to undrafted rookie free agent deals with the Denver Broncos. And then as well in Cleveland, one of 56 individuals, yes, mind you, invited to the rookie minicamp for the Browns. Yes, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, joined by Cameron Johnson. So not only does Mimbu ink a 4-year, $31.9 million deal to be the immediate right tackle there for the Jets, the other member of the line on the left side a year ago for the Tigers, getting a chance at the very least in Cleveland. And we should note, finally, coming out of the AFC East once more, yes, Marcus Bryant over on the left side. He gets a chance to also make the Patriot squad under Mike Vrabel, being a 7th-round draft choice. So just a few news and nuggets, different anecdotes to pass along for you here on the College Football Connection. My guys, Marty Jenkins and Alvin Reed, we need to stage a reunion here in studio in the very near future. We promised to do that, and as we promised a few weeks ago, it is more than time. It is overdue, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to assess and evaluate who the Tigers were able to land in the spring transfer portal window. So much of the attention went to the likes, naturally, of a Nico Iamaleava, who transferred from Tennessee to UCLA. That is an entirely different subject, an entirely different ball of wax per se. Joey Aguilar moving from UCLA to Tennessee. Basically, those 2 guys switching spots, but in markedly different positions as far as the overall compensation angle of things. There's a lot to get into. We promise to be right back at you in just a couple of days here, coming to you from Creve Coeur. But for now, we bid you adieu. Have a tremendous remainder of the weekend. Get chock full and set up with all of the different sports-related goings-on here, not only in the Midwest, but nationally. And as per usual, tune in to 101 ESPN beginning on Monday morning, 7 o'clock sharp, with TMA for the latest from the Cardinals weekend in Washington. It has been a bang-up one at that thus far. Can you say a 10-0 shutout victory to begin matters on Friday evening? Eric Fetty, yes, we see you, as well as a litany of bats heating up as the Cardinals shooting for 7 straight. Baseball, gridiron, we have all of it covered, not only on 101 ESPN, but definitely right here on the 101 ESPN YouTube channel and 101ESPN.com. Have a great one, St. Louis. We'll catch you extremely soon.